Or is it just really quiet? Yeah, it's just really quiet. Let me see. Let me see what Twitch sounds like. Test, test. Yeah, it's just really quiet. I think it's a filter. One of my filters, I think, is. Let's remove this. Hello, hello. That's better, huh? A little better? Still kind of quiet. Let me try turning down the desktop audio. It's too much, isn't it? This is the first time I've used Restream, so I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, and maybe take the limiter. Hello, hello? Hello? Loud. Hello, hello? Well, I'm just gonna remove this. Let's just try that. Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm gonna turn the music up a little bit. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's pretty good. We can live with that. I've been scarred by streaming for 2 hours and then my audio and voice being just completely out of sync. So now I always take a minute at the beginning, try to get myself sorted out. I also understand it helps if the mic is nice and close to your face. Alright, cool. Alrighty, go. I was here earlier today. Well, I was here on Twitch earlier, or not YouTube earlier today, and now I'm back again. We have a basketball game we have to go to in about an hour and a half, but I'm gonna try to spend the next hour basically battle testing Restream to see if it works. This is my first time using it, so that I can stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And so we'll see how this goes. Besides that, I would like to check out. Well, actually, before that, I actually want to make a really small change to my blog. So I want to change the color of these headings so that they match the purple that's in my profile picture from GitHub now. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Shouldn't take much. Shouldn't take much. Okay. So I'll say git checkout B. Stephen Freeborn. Obviously, I need to namespace because so many other people work on this blog with me. Maybe one day. Let's see, Stephen Freeborn feature. What do I want to call this? Change post heading. Whoop. Change post heading color. Push that up. And this really should just be like a one-liner change, honestly. Source blog. And then let's come over into a new window. Make this a little bigger so everybody can see it. Oh god, that's not what I want. I just want half. There you go. Okay, and then we'll go to the local version of the blog, which is localhost 4500. Nope, not 45,000. 4500. There we go. Let's disable read line. CD into software, and then blog in Vim. And then I have an idea of what I actually don't want it to be the exact color. I want it to be like a gradient. Like a gradient. And Canva helps me do this. So let's just put an element on here like that. I love Canva. It's such an easy tool to work with, but just has so much power. Like you can do so many things. Let's make this that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Let's see. I think the linear looks the best. Yeah. So let's just do that. Oh, I should probably save this. Linear gradient. Okay, now I need to go over here, and I think if I remember where I put everything, I think this is in posts. Or maybe it's just in the root. Can't remember if I put these. Oh, actually, it's probably in components, actually. Is it post.razor.css? Nope, that's the actual post. I think it's home. Home dot. I don't see a home dot, so maybe it is an app. It's hard to figure out where you put stuff, you know? When you haven't worked on something in a little while. Let me just grep for it. I promise I did build this blog. Doesn't seem like I built it. Because I can't remember where I put anything. Blog.styles.css. But that's the CSS file that gets compiled by Blazor, I'm pretty sure. So I'm looking for article. Something that's article container. Post.razor. Huh. Why can't I find it? Layout. Nope, it's not that. Okay, let's just grep for article. Oh, this is too small. It's not going to show me a preview. Oh, here it is. There it is. It's this. I'm pretty sure it's this right here. So I think if I change this to, like, let me just change this to, I just changed this to white. Oh, and I also need to, run this with .NET Watch dash dash that. How are you guys doing? You guys doing well? I don't see anyone in the chat. At least not through Restream. I don't see anyone in the chat. I'm not really sure how you see your stats on your stream when you're doing this. I'll look on YouTube. Yeah, no one's here. Interesting. I've had actually pretty good chats lately on I'm not chats, live streams on YouTube lately. People have been very interactive, which is kind of fun to be able to talk to people while you do stuff. Yeah, okay, so that changed. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna open up that clip we just clipped. And we're just gonna say linear gradient, 90 degrees, and we want to start at, can't see it, we want to start at 5, 12, 84, we want to go 6, 8. Like that. Yeah. I don't know. Does that look okay? I think it looks okay. Okay. And let's say get add, get commit, m, change heading color. GHPR creates. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Submit it. All right. So hopefully that succeeds. We can deploy that. And let's do another check on the stream from an audio video perspective. I think Restream's working pretty good. I think this will work much better than what I've been doing, which is I've just been streaming on Twitch and then posting the video to YouTube, which is fine, but I think it'd be better to be able to be in both places if I can. Let's see. Let's go. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yeah, okay, it's working. Yeah, I'm satisfied with it. We're gonna do it for a little while. For free they let you stream to 2 channels for free, and then if you want to do more you have to obviously pay, but I think 2 is all I really need for now. Okay, that passed, so let's PR merge, and that'll deploy it. It's good. Then we'll have some new color on the blog. It should look pretty good. All right, go home. So beyond just testing this new stream technology, the other thing I wanted to check out was, you probably haven't heard of them. There's this company, I mean, maybe you have. There's this company called Convex. It's like a managed backend as a service. So if you're familiar with like Supabase or Firebase, it's basically in that same vein of a service. And I used it, I don't know, a year ago now it was, to build a site called convex.stephenfreeborn.com. I built this as part of a hackathon. Let's see if it's still running. Yeah, it's still running. So let's get signed in here. It's basically, okay, so I think you can kind of see the play on words, right? It's Convex. So this was like right around the time when Twitter got bought and changed its name. There's a creator on YouTube named WebDev Cody, who is awesome. You should go subscribe to his channel. But he hosted a hackathon sponsored by Convex. And so I was like, yeah, hey, that sounds fun. Let's do that. And so this is what I built. Is basically the idea was to try to build something that was like Twitter, but with the Convex technology. I also added some cool stuff, like if you can do short form posts like this, but you can also do long form posts. So I actually used like a legit markdown editor. So you can do like, hi, my name is, and you can do other headings, Steven. You can do code blocks. Let's say like, hello world, like that. No trailing commas in JSON, and you can preview it. So it's almost kind of like X meets GitHub put together, right? But like a social platform. So, and I think this will still all work. Yeah. So you post and you can see it still has that syntax highlighting. But the cool thing about, the very cool thing about Convex is that out of the box, everything is reactive. So what do I mean by that? I mean, it basically uses WebSockets, and it listens to your data at like the database level. So when there's a change in that data, it's automatically broadcasted to all your users, right? So the data is always live. You don't have to worry about any of that complexity of stale data, fresh data, cache data. They take care of that for you, right? You build a nice pretty front end. You use their SDKs to talk to this managed service. So like if I like this post, it immediately shows up over here. If I follow someone, like let's go to this guy's page. I don't know if I follow him. So yeah, let's go to his page. And you can see if we go here and we click follow, it'll immediately update over there, right? So, it's all like, if you wanted to implement that type of functionality yourself, it's a lot more lines of code than what it is with Convex. And so if you want to build something like relatively quick that has really rich client-side functionality and not really have to worry about a lot of the database, a lot of the back-end stuff, you can iterate really quickly, and they offer a ton of other features and functionality. I could not recommend them enough. If you're thinking about building an app and you want to build something quickly and you want it to have all this rich client-side interaction, this is a great service. However, the reason I stopped using it after this project was, it's like I said, it's a managed service. So they didn't have an offering that supported the ability to run it locally or to self-host it at the time. That's changed now though. So you can do what they call local, let me look it up. It's called local deployments. Local deploy, yeah, see, local deployments. And right now it's primarily just oriented towards development. However, in their Discord, they announced, let me see if I can find the Discord. In their Discord, I must not have Discord installed here, but I can access it through the internet, through the web browser. Let me get signed in. I mean, long story short, they announced in their Discord that they are working on a self-hosted version, which is, and it's all open source too. That's pretty cool. This is the free. Yes. Let's see, Discord. Yeah, log in. Of course, you gotta log it into anything. Takes 50 billion steps these days. In the name of security. There we go. So they announced this. Let me make this a little bigger, 25%. So they announced it earlier this week. Right here, self-hostable Convex. So they're working on this as part of their roadmap. And so you can do, so I wanted to explore the local deployments, because essentially when you use Convex for local development now, you can do these local deployments where it basically runs an instance of Convex on your computer, and so you don't have to actually use their cloud managed version of it for development, which is great, because then you're not using usages just to experiment and explore things. And then hopefully when they get the self-hosted version out, that's going to be much more in my wheelhouse, where for the stuff I build, I don't really want to spend a ton of money to actually run side projects. So I can still use their kick-ass technology, right? But use it on my compute, and not kind of be tied to their managed service. Now, if you build a really successful app and you want it to scale, right, why wouldn't you use their managed service? But for small side projects, right, with not a ton of traffic, it just and if the thing you're building doesn't actually turn a profit, it probably doesn't make sense, right, to be spending money on that. So that's what I wanted to explore today, was the local development story, the local deployment story, because I think that knowing about that is going to help me be able to implement the self-hosted version. So let's go. Oh, and if you guys want to, this Convex, I'll post this in the chat. This is live, so if you want to go and check it out, you can play with it. I had a ton of fun building it. So yeah, you can sign up. It's got it uses Clerk for the auth, because Convex has like a really nice integration with Clerk. So if you can use a local account, or you can use Microsoft, Google, GitHub to sign in. But yeah, if you do log in, make a post, and I'll see it. You can see there's some people who signed up during the hackathon. When we were building it, like this guy right here, James WT, he's actually one of the founders of Convex, which is pretty cool that he came in and checked it out. But what we want to do is set up one of these local deployments. So let's follow their quick starting guide first. Let's see, quick starts. Let's do view. Yeah, oh, here we go. They're going to actually have us use Convex dev deployment table. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's just follow this really quick, and this will get us a project set up, and then we can explore the local development. CD software, CD. Let's make one called. Oh, actually, we'll do this. We'll say create view latest. Let's call it Convex local deployments. we want to add TypeScript? Sure. We're not really going to do much with this. Yeah, we can use the router. Yeah, that's fine. Yep, we can add all that. We don't need that. Yeah, we can do that. Yep, we can do that. We're not actually probably going to use any of it, but okay, let's cd into that new directory, Convex local deployments. We'll install these guys. They didn't used to have a Vue integration either, so this is pretty cool. It used to be just for, and it primarily still is marketed towards React users. So if you go to their homepage, you can see, right, it's primarily pointed at people that are using React, but they've since expanded it to work with other front ends. So let's install those. And so this is the part where you're going to actually use, like, you have to actually set up a project in their cloud, which again was when I was building this was the only way you could use it, right? You had to always use their cloud and their compute. So you have like a development, you have one project, and then you sort of have like a development instance, test or staging instance, and a production instance under one project. So the idea was, you could use the development instance for all your dev work, right? But then the two limitations there are, right, like, one, you're stuck using their cloud, and then when you're using the development stuff, it's counting against your usages. And then let's say you don't have access to the internet, or you're working somewhere where you don't want to be connected to the internet, then you can't really develop your app really, because you can't talk to that development project. So which is where the local deployment comes into play. So we've done all that. We installed our stuff. Now we'll run this command. So this is the command that basically wires things up. Say device name. Actually, let me take this off screen because I'm not sure what it's going to have me put in here. Okay, now it's going to open up my browser. Okay, please confirm this code displayed on your Convex CLI. Yep, confirm. Log in with GitHub. And now we're all set. What did it say? Failed to parse, invalid type. Would you like, okay. I don't know why, it threw an error for some reason. But it looks like it's still working. So now I'll click create a new project. We'll say, yeah, Convex local deployments. Use cloud, or so now so this used to not exist, right? You used to always have to use a cloud deployment. So let's actually yeah, let's actually just use local. Well, let's set up with cloud because I want the optionality, right? I want to be able to have cloud, and then if I want, I want to be able to switch to local. Oh. Okay. So let's go to this dashboard. I'm being kind of stingy with what I show because I honestly don't want to leak anything. But I can always clean this all up after the stream's over anyways. Okay, so this is the dashboard, right? So this is basically their dashboard for your backend. And so you have this idea of obviously your team, and then you have your different projects, and then each one of your projects has development, and then it has a production. And then you have data, and you have functions. So functions are, if you use something like AWS or Azure, right, you can have these functions that run as part of your app. This is your data, so it'll have different tables. You can run things on schedules, and you'll also see logs that run. It's kind of hard to explain all this, exactly what it all is, right, because it's all very Convex specific functionality and features. But it's pretty great. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow the rest of this, and then we'll move on to the local deployment side. Okay, so Convex dev is running. And let's go ahead and close this. Whoops. I didn't mean to make that smaller. So let's go ahead and say npx convex import -- table tasks sample data.jsonl. Oh, I need to create that. So let's say make dir sample data. Hey, Electronic Basics. What's up? Sorry, I didn't see your message till right now. I apologize. What's my setup? What are you referring to? Like for this for development or for the stream? What bit of the setup are you interested in? I've got a spammer over on Twitch. Probably need to block him. Twitch is full of spam. I don't understand. A lot of the chatters on there is just spam. Let's see. Go to my stream manager, I think. How do I go? How do I... I thought there was a stream manager in Twitch. Oh yeah, here it is. But I don't see that fella in the chat. I was gonna block him, but I mean the PC specs. Oh, let's see. Nothing fancy. So I have a Zephyrus. The thing that I'm streaming on is a Zephyrus G14. It has 16 gigs of RAM. It's a Ryzen 9 5900HS. And then I'm pretty sure there's an NVIDIA graphics card. I think it's a 3080, I think, but obviously the laptop version. So not the desktop card. But it works for what I use it for. I mean, I don't do anything crazy or intense. I bought this 2 years ago. 3 years ago almost at this point, and it suited me well. The one thing I wish it had more of is I wish it had more RAM. I mean, can you really have enough RAM? I kind of feel like, I mean, I just think like I'm a student at the National Higher School of Artificial Intelligence, and I like your videos. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad you like what I've been posting. It sounds like you're in some intense education though. In the AI world. I actually just bought a book that's kind of AI related called back to the setup just real quick. Yeah, I wish I had more RAM. I don't have any device that has more than 16 gigs of RAM, and I kind of feel like it would be really awesome to have 32, 64, you know, something like just like I saw somebody's post yesterday that was 92 gigabytes of RAM or something like that. It was crazy. I was super jealous. But on the AI front, so you're obviously studying artificial intelligence. I don't have a machine learning background, haven't really done much in that area, but I bought a book called Building Large Language Models from Scratch. It's a Manning book. But yeah, my plan is to spend some time doing some stuff with machine learning, trying to start to dip my toes in the sand. So maybe you can, whenever I post stuff that sounds very ignorant and not correct, you can come in and correct me, because I'm just beginning to learn about that stuff. All right, back to this. We're gonna make a new directory called sample data. We'll cd into that. We'll make a new sample data.jsonl. It's crazy how popular that format has become for things, right? The JSONL format. It's just basically JSON objects separated by new lines, but it's used a ton, as I understand it, in the AI world for training data. I actually use it quite a bit for logging data. Like I'll usually log structured objects to a file separated by new lines. I find it a really nice, a much better way to create logs than just text lines, because then you can parse that log file a lot easier. You can create a lot much more prettier UIs, and it's a little bit easier to parse too, I feel like, on the command line. So let's write that out. Okay, now we'll rerun our command, which is mpx convex import table tasks sample data.jsonl. So this is just a easy way for you to get data into your Convex database, right? So like if I look at my Convex database at the moment, how do I get it? There we go. It's empty. I don't have any tables, but after I run this command, it should create one for me. Oh, I need to go up a root. And then I need to say sample data. Like that. Okay, there we go. And now I have a task table, and my task table now has some data in it. Cool. So that's pretty easy. But now obviously you need to like the data's here, but to get it into my application, I have to do basically some ORM stuff to basically have a representation of this table in my code, which is what this tutorial is going to have me do next. And I do forgive me because I'm stepping through a lot of stuff here that doesn't really have to do with the local deployment. It's just kind of Convex specific stuff. But this way, I actually have an environment where I can explore the local deployments. Okay, so now we'll go back up to we're already in our root. So now what we'll do is we'll change into the Convex directory. And so this is where you do all your Convex related things. So in here, I'm going to make a new file called tasks. And it's just a TypeScript file. And I'm going to put this code in here. So what this code is basically doing is it's basically going to allow me to query that table of tasks and return it. So that's essentially all it's doing. And this can be strongly typed, right? So you can actually have strongly typed returns, right? So you know exactly what is on your tasks object. But this is just the simplest way to talk to that that Convex backend and get your data out of there. Okay. And then now we'll go to our main. Well, actually, let's just open this all up. So now we'll go to source main.ts. And if you're not familiar with Vue, don't worry about any of this. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to wire up our app to use Convex. So we'll say const convex view equals create convex view. And then we need to just give it our URL, which is already a part of our, yep, like that. And why is that complaining? Oh, because it's never used. And then we're just going to provide that to our app. So we'll say app.use convex view. And this is just, again, this is just Vue specific stuff, right? So if you're familiar with Vue, then great. But if not, no worries. Did anybody sign up for this? Make a post? No? All right, fair enough. It's got light and dark mode too. Yeah, I don't know. I just conceptually thought this app was kind of a cool idea, right? Like this idea of having a social platform that is both short form and long form. Like I think it would be really cool to be able to write complete markdown formatted essentially blogs, but on Blue Sky, right? Or LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn lets you write long posts, but they're like a completely separate thing from the actual feed. I think it would be nice to kind of have a mixture. Anywho, okay, so with that, should be good. Now we just want to display our data. So now we'll go to app.view. And we're just going to basically wipe everything we have out in there. Or maybe not. Maybe we leave the styles and we just dump in the template or the script in the template. Let's just add them. Let's just add to it. Let's not wipe everything. Okay, and then our template's gonna now have this in it. That. GF. What's this complaining about? Oh, doesn't have a key. So, if I remember right, you can do key to do, is that right? In view. So then you can say key is, or no, key equals key, I think is how you do that, if I remember. I can't remember if it's key to do or to do key. It's one or the other. We'll find out when we run this. Alright, so we'll write everything out, and now we'll go over to our other window, make this a little bigger, and then we'll go into Convex, and we'll run npm run dev. No, I don't want to paste. I want to. Nope, I don't want to do that. Just want to copy this and open it over here. Well, I don't see my. Oh, yep. I need to run. I forgot to run that. So obviously we need to have that convex deployment. So we need to run, or we need to basically keep like our local convex definitions that because we added that get tables query. We need to keep that up to date with our cloud. So we need to say npx convex dev. Oh, no, we need to first change into our this, and then we need to write npx convex dev, I think. And yeah, so I think what that did was, if we can find our dashboard here, we've got too many tabs open now. Yeah, so now you can see, right, I have my table of data, but now I also have that API task get function, right? So I can actually collect that data. So that's the whole idea of defining those queries that we define in this convex folder. Right? This is essentially a function that you're defining, and convex primarily works off of queries, and then they have mutations for when you want to change data. So they have these two different concepts, which is similar to how. What is it? Is that, let's see, there's a query, mutation, REST, or not REST, API. Yeah, is that GraphQL that uses those terms, queries and mutations? Yeah, I think that's the one I'm thinking of. But anywho, so now with that set up, now we should actually see some tasks, I think, if we reload the page. Maybe not. Oh, I think I'm just not doing it right in that for loop. Where am I? Yeah, let's just write to do for now. I know there's a way to get a key from this guy. Let's see, hold on. View v4 key. There we go. It's this. It's that syntax. I can say do. This is going to index. And I guess I could use actually the to do ID because I think the to do has an ID, but. Okay, now let's go back here. Reload. Oh, there we go. So now you can see. It's kind of hard to see. Let me make this a little bigger. So now you can see my lists are being rendered out, or my tasks are being rendered out right here. Now, the cool thing about Convex, right, the thing I was trying to show earlier, and this probably drives it home a little better, is if I go to my dashboard and I change something in my database, right? So imagine I'm not actually manipulating my database. Imagine this is a user making a request to update a task or something, right? So this is not actually what you'd want to do. But this is basically listening all the way down to this row level. So this will re-render and update as soon as I change something here. So go for a swim today, right? It's all, and it's, I mean, it's crazy how fast that is, but it's really, really, really impressive. And so you can, I think just this alone kind of can quickly open your eyes to, wow, I could really build some cool stuff really quickly, right? Okay, so now that we have that all set up, let's look at local. So we have that set up. Now let's do what I was actually interested in. I apologize, it took me a minute to get to this point, but now what I want to look at is the actual local deployment, the local deployments for development, because I think this is probably going to be very similar to what they have you do for self-hosting. Okay. Let's see. While using local deployments, the local Convex backend runs as a sub-process of the npx convex dev command and exits when that command stops. This means a convex dev command must be running in order to run other commands like npx convex run against this local deployment. State for local backends is stored in convex state. Okay. No, not for, we want to use it for, you'll also always be given the option for a local deployment if you run npx convex dev configure ask. Other flows may require you to want a cloud deployment in some situations, for example, when connecting to a project for which you already have a cloud development deployment. To stop using local deployments for a project, run the following. This is kind of important, right? Because you got to remember that your local dev is different than your cloud dev. And you also have to remember some other things about like no public URLs, which isn't really a big thing because you can always use something like ngrok to get around this for local development, right? If you needed for some reason to expose a public URL. I don't really know the impact of this because I haven't done anything with this use node feature they have. They run directly. Okay. Logs get cleared out every time. Okay. That's good to know. Okay, so what do I need to run? I need to run this. So I already have an existing project. So let's shut down all of our stuff real quick. And let's just come here and let's run npx convex dev local -- once. See what happens. You're trying out the beta local. Okay, so this is, yeah, allow. Provisioned a local deployment and saved it to convex deployment.env.local. So that env file is the configuration of how your apps. Hold on, I don't want to open that on screen because I don't know what's in there. But those environment variables get set, and that's how it knows what to talk to. Okay, there's nothing sensitive in here now. So you can see this is my local deployment, and I'm guessing when this is pointing at your cloud, this is a different value. And you can see this is where Convex is going to run on my local machine. It's going to run on port 3210 whenever I start it. And then this URL is what gets passed into my app, or my main, which is how it all gets wired up, right? How my view application knows how to talk to whatever Convex backend I'm using. Okay, so let's get this running really quick. I don't have a ton of time left. I've got to head to a basketball game here in a minute. So let's get this running. Oh, and also, so it should have created a new folder too. So if we look at Convex, Convex should have a new folder, right? Let's see, quit all ls Convex. Huh. Because it said, didn't they say it? Oh, it's in my home directory. Let's see. Is it ls.convex? Yeah, so there's a convex now in my home directory. So this is the binary, which basically, as I understand it, convex is written in Rust, and they basically just compile it to some binaries that run. And this is my backend. So this must be where they store the data. This is my config. So let's go ahead and run this. And again, the reason why I'm exploring this is because, one, I think Convex is awesome, and I think it would be awesome to be able to use it more. But the thing is, I don't want to spend money on the managed service. Primarily just because none of my side projects at the moment generate income. Now, if there was one of my side projects did, then I'd have no qualms about using it for that. But also, the local deployment is a really compelling local development case, because not only does it allow you then to not have to use cloud resources to do your development, it also probably helps with testing stuff. And then, like I said earlier, as they announced on their Discord, which I think I closed it, but they announced on their Discord that they are gonna have a self-hosted version of their software. So whenever that comes out, I'm definitely going to consider using it for some real side projects, because I would love to have my own self-hosted version of Convex, right? And I can use all the great functionality that it offers, but I don't have to worry about that compute usage. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm going to run npx convex dev now, and so this should use my local. Yeah. And then if we go, let's see, we should be able now to go to my invim. And what was that port again? I forget what the port was. We should be able to go here. No web page was found. Okay, so where is it listening? And I let's see if I start my app up. CD npm run dev. So this is starting my application. If I start my application up, there won't be any tasks. And did it error? Let's see, did it error? No, it didn't error, so it did actually make a successful connection, I think. There should be, I think, a WebSocket connection in here. Yeah, so it did actually make a successful connection. So this is the web sockets it uses, Convex uses to communicate, to be able to keep your data in sync, right? So that's there. Now, I wonder, is this at like dashboard? So where does the local, let's see if we can find it, Convex local dashboard. Oh, okay, so you don't have, okay, so you just have to use the dev command. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I'm guessing that's going to change at some point, right? They'll probably have a way to expose that dashboard locally, because that dashboard's really pretty, right? I mean, that's a really nice dashboard. Let's see, Convex, and then let's type npx convex -- help. Open the dashboard. No, I think if I try to do that, it won't work. So if I type Convex dashboard, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Oh no, it does. Okay, cool. So that's how you get to it. Very cool. Okay, that should be stated somewhere more clearly. But you'll see. Look, I don't have any tables. Oh, I do have a function. It did add my function, but I don't have a table. So let's import some data into my table real quick. So npx convex import. Boom. Awesome. Cool. Cool. There's my task data. Okay, and then if I go back to my app, it's now got data. And if I change the data here, it should get reflected over here. Yes. Okay, very cool. Okay, I'm excited about this. I have run out of time though, so I've got to hop off and run. But that is very cool. So I think I'm gonna add this to my list of build another thing with Convex, and then hopefully by the time I get that thing built, there will be a self-hosted option, and we can look at getting that set up. All right, I've got to run, so you guys have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will talk to you. I'll talk to you the next time I stream. I hope this was interesting, though. I hope you enjoyed the look at Convex. And I hope it maybe piqued your interest to go check out Convex and see what they're all about, and actually maybe follow one of the tutorials. I think they have I think this company has a monster on its hands. I don't think a ton of people know about it and are using it, but I think once the word starts to spread, I think they have something special. They could be a big player, I think, one day.